is actually going to be less control, not more. That you see the shadow in the...
All right, nah, this dude, he was on time, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, anyway, he got a job, and he went somewhere else, and the new prosecutor ends up being her. And this was part of the opening statements. Here we go.
12 hours after shooting and killing 19-year-old Jamari Holmes, the evidence will show that Rodelius Ryan could say, I bet I make the news. Rodelius Ryan posts on his Instagram account, I bet YSL makes the news. The evidence will show that in posting about YSL as it related to his flagrant, overt act of extreme violence, Rodelius Ryan was agreeing to and attempting to participate in YSL through this illegal activity. He was promoting the game. He was 12 hours after.
Okay, so that was part of the opening statements by the prosecutor. Eventually, Young Thug's lawyer got to give their opening statements, and this was part of their opening statements. Here's the thing about remember I told you he's like one of the top 3 attorneys in Georgia, right? There's like really 3 of them. They actually say he's kind of like number 1, but like his name is Brian Steele. He's been Young Thug's lawyer for a long time. The other one is George Sado. I don't know that's the last name. That was Gunna's lawyer. So he's not really going to be in this process. And there's another one. I forgot what his name is. Anyway, Brian Steele is the one who's supposed to he's supposed to be the Johnny Cochran of this whole thing to really get Young Thug sprung free from this whole thing. This was his opening statement. And in his opening statement, he's trying to put a picture to the jury of who Young Thug is. And obviously, you got to remember the pseudonym of Jeffrey Williams, right, is Young Thug. They're trying to give, okay, this is what his nickname means. They're saying Young Thug is a nickname or a rap name, and he came up with a acronym for what thug means. You know, usually when you hear thug, you think of a delinquent motherfucker. Listen to how he explains it.
But to Jeffrey, thug had a different meaning. Now, some of you read books about Tupac and what it meant to be thug life. Thug life, the hate you give little infants, F's, everyone. Meaning discrimination and racism hurts all of us. We teach that to our kids. That was not what thug meant to Jeffrey. Thug meant and means to Jeffrey something very personal. It was his path. But if he could ever make it as a musical artist and help his family, himself, and as many others out of this endless cycle of hopelessness, he would be truly humble under God. That's what thug means.
So they're saying thug means truly humbled under God. T-H-U-G. Will that play well in court? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how the jury looks. I don't know if some of them are familiar with certain type of, slang or colloquialism, but that's a hard sell if you ask me. By the way, the prosecutor is actively calling Young Thug King Slime. So they're already painting a picture. They're painting a picture of calling Young Thug the person that everybody needs approval from for crimes and the boss. So they're calling him King Slime. So it's kind of like trivial at this point where, I mean, it's still early, but Young Thug's lawyer trying to say his name, Young Thug. Thug means truly humbled under God. So Young Thug actually meant young, truly humbled under God. I don't know if he thought about that off the cuff, or he probably did thought about that like before they came to trial, but go on. I don't know if anyone will buy it. Couple other things that's kind of going on. Let's go to Law and Crimes real quick. We're going to give you the updates. And by the way, as time goes on, we're going to be covering really more intricately on what's going on. Today was just a day we got to cover a bunch of other stuff. So here we go. Okay, that's the Thug trials going on. Let's see if we could. We're going to go into a little piece of it yesterday.
Because it's intentional misconduct. That's my motion.
All right.
And I'd like...
So basically, Young Thug's team, as soon as opening statements start, they try to file a motion for mistrial. The motion for mistrial means this current trial should be dismissed, and it's then upon the prosecutor if they wish to start this entire process over again, which, by the way, it's been like a year and a half since, or a year and a quarter, I guess, since this whole thing started. So maybe the prosecutor will be like, nah, we're not about to take it back to trial. So trying to get a mistrial charge is very important. But let me see why. I forgot why they went for mistrial. Here we go. Here we go. So here he's trying to get the motion for mistrial.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Your Honor, last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago...
Oh, okay, I think I remember. So in the state's opening statement, so the state is, these two women, but like she's the woman who's talking right here in the state. So the prosecutor, they had some slides. And what happens is, obviously when you're facing a case, you have to get discovery. So discovery means you have to have all the evidence that the prosecutor plans to use against you in court. Apparently, some of the slides that she planned to use in court, she did not turn over to the defense, and they're saying that because they weren't armed with some of those slides, this should be a mistrial.
You ordered the parties to share all of their displays in opening statement to the others so we don't have to have these interruptions. I did that. The state shared with me 4 attachments. That's all they had. That's what I got. What you just saw on your screen, if you don't remember, I'll ask the state to put it up, and I asked for it to be marked as exhibit, is what you already excluded. It states that Mr. Ryan was convicted of murder, and I represent the co-defendant who's not on trial on the appeal. How did that not get sent to me so I could bring it to this honorable court's attention? 1. And 2, how do we just violate court orders? So, yes, I have a serious motion for a mistrial because it's intentional misconduct. That's my motion.
All right.
And I'd like the screenshot to be captured for Mr. Weaver to put in the record.
I'll admit it is next.
So it was 2 things why they're doing that, right? Basically, Brian Steele is known in the Atlanta community. Also, not only is he only representing Young Thug, he's representing other people who's also on trial as well, but he's representing them on other situations. So basically, because the state is bringing up that he represented some other defendants on their appeals and stuff like that, again, this could be a conflict of interest matter, and he's saying this should have been brought up before, that he could deal with it or they could talk it out before it gets to now trial, because now the jury's now thinking, or the jury would think, well, if this one lawyer is representing all of them, maybe they are all, or because you gotta remember, everybody has supposed to have their own lawyer, or else it's pretty easy that the jury is gonna think, oh, if y'all all got the same lawyer, of course y'all are a fucking gang, y'all are a team, y'all are in cahoots, right?
Court exhibit in order of the state's presentation anyway. So, all right. So that'll be court 1 for purposes of the trial. So, Ms. Love, what's your response to Mr. Steele's assertion about Mr. Ryan?
As it relates to Mr. Ryan and the exhibits that the state intended to play and to display for the jury, I sent to Mr. Steele and everyone else the pictures and the photographs that I expected to use. As it relates to The slide to which Mr.
Okay, so basically, obviously, mistrial wasn't granted,
I have the
or is still being considered.
Presented by Brian Steele. So we can leave that for the time being. Leave it for the time being because it is what was it was up. I'm going to deny the motion for mistrial, Mr. Steele, but I will go ahead and give a curative instruction to our jurors at this point in time. So.
Your Honor, I'm supposed to ask for...
Okay, so this is going to be a really slowed down. You know how we watched the YNW Melly trial in a little bit, and Melly's lawyers try to object to everything, and they were basically just citing a bunch of procedural errors, and they were basically trying to use that to their advantage to say, yo, we should just fucking end this shit because this is bullshit, right? Well, what's happening here is that you not only have Young Thug's lawyers trying to do that, you have like 5 other lawyers trying to do that. And they're all trying to make sure that they could fuck up all of these situations that this shit doesn't go that far. Okay? Obviously, a mistrial could mean that they could file it again, but at least, you know, perhaps they could have a better chance to get bond if there is a mistrial. There hasn't been any like egregious or violent acts on behalf of Young Thug, even though they claim he's the kingpin or whatever. And again, they almost want to exhaust the resources of the court, not only the court, but also the judicial system. Remember, there's certain type of legal defense attorneys, the ones that are assigned, that are basically saying, yo, we can't even afford to pay rent. We can't pay for food. We got to do OnlyFans and some other shit, which kind of almost hints that the state isn't paying enough or isn't doling out enough money for this trial to happen. So if they have to start it over again, not saying the state will go broke, but they might be like, yo, fuck it. We're either going to like, you know, give pleas, or we're going to do some way to settle it, not paying twice the amount of money. Yes, even the judicial system and even the DA office have to consider budgets and things like that when they're thinking about trying cases or how hard they're going to go on any particular case, right? Obviously, most cases are solved by, you know, solved by plea bargains and shit like that. But obviously with Young Thug right now, he's not in the place to get plea bargain because they want him, right? So if they could get this to a mistrial, it would probably help his chance, right? Back to the Young Thug situation, the YSL case. Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, says his client did not invent slime. They're saying it came from Wayne. Ain't it snitching? What the fuck? Let's hear this. Okay, so this is Jewel Wicker. Shout out to you. Beautiful black woman that's covering this case. She says Steele spent a good amount of time focusing on social media posts and text messages obtained by the prosecutor. In one post, Thug says, YFN ain't like what you do for your mother and kids. Is a YFN, if I ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you. It was aimed at YFN Lucy. But Steele says years before that post was sent, Lucy claimed to be sleeping with Thug's fiance, which is true. And Thug's fiance, if you guys don't know, Jerica Carley. So YFN Lucy claimed that he slept with Jerica, and Young Thug loved this woman so much. And man, she did look good, right? Oh my God, look at her. Jesus Christ. Oh, man, beautiful black man, lady queen. Anyway, he claimed he slept with her. Young Thug was mad. Young Thug kind of got into it with him. He said, but still says, okay, claim he slept with her. If Thug was King Slime, Lucci would have gotten away with making this claim for years. Steele asked. Oh, he says, if Young Thug was King Slime, would have he... Oh, that's a dumb argument. Wow. Yo, hey, chat. I'm going to, like, you know, obviously after today's stream, it's my job to make sure I don't want to bore you with 10 hours of testimony and shit like that. I'm here to give y'all entertainment, right? And the right info. So I'm going to watch all this shit. But on face value, that sounds stupid. If Young Thug's lawyer is saying, it's like saying, yo, if he was really El Chapo, wouldn't he just kill the people? Like, I mean, I guess, but that doesn't mean he's not, right? He's saying if Young Thug was King Slime, would Lucci have gotten away with making this claim for years? Well, if Lucci's also rich, has security, stays out the way, doesn't go around, where Young Thug could kind of get him easily like some other street thugs, yeah, he could get away with made that claim for years, even if Young Thug is King Slime. In another text, it says, Young Thug says, YSL rule the world, kid. 24M on a nigga head. Y'all just start bringing me the money. And Steele says these are spliced together from several days and convos. He alluded the 24M reference wasn't a hit on someone, but a nod to Lil Uzi's face diamond. Okay. By the way, I do think the prosecutors are going to come into a little bit of problem with some of the things that they're alluding and trying to accuse Thug of, if those things could be attributed to just, random rap postings, right? Like, yo, I was talking about this nigga's diamond that was in his forehead. I wasn't threatening a nigga, right? Okay. By the way, salute to my man Bryson Boom Paul. He says, yo, Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, tells jury that YFN Lucci beefs with Young Thug because he's broke. And he's trying to attach himself to a bigger artist like Thug did to Tunchi. And he says, yo, we're back in court and Steele is continuing to go through social media posts. In one photo, the prosecutor alleged Thug is holding up a blood gang sign. Okay, so the prosecutor said he's throwing blood. And Brian Steele says, nah, it's actually a P. And it's a nod to Gunna's song, Pushin' P. It says, in reference to the word slime in another post, Steele says, Jeffrey did not invent slime. Slime comes from Jeffrey's idol, Lil Wayne. By the way, that sounds good, and this is why I'm saying it's sounding weak on... By the way, this whole case, depending on how you look at it, could look weak on both sides. You could be like, oh my God, they're relying on lyrics. It's weak on the prosecutor's side. But also, what we're going to have to say is, okay, you're going to say, oh no, he's just throwing P to support his friend that has a song called Pushin' P. Well, you do know there's going to be a gang expert. Remember that police officer also that was like really breaking shit down? You know they're going to take the stand. You know they're going to be like, yo, what is the term slime associated with? And it's going to be not rap shit, right? Like, again, it sounds good to just say, oh no, it came from Wayne. There's going to be gang experts and police officers and detectives up there who are going to say slime is actually something that's associated with a gang. We'll see, though. Okay. Let's see if we can find some more interesting pieces of information. Let's go back to Law and Crimes. Law and Crimes. Here we go. That's 3 days ago. No, that's mistrial shit. Okay. All right. We'll kind of, let me see. We'll kind of just get into this live stream. Here we go.
Ms. Love, are you prepared to, and Ms. Hilton, to make, or should say, start the presentation of evidence tomorrow morning?
Okay, so they're about to recess, okay? So cool. Ooh, oh, look at this part. Look at this part. He shot his mommy, so he no longer mentioned me. And obviously, that is at Wife and Lucci. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this bitch back up. Okay. Let me listen to some of these guys.
You know, as a former prosecutor, both of you, not anybody can just be a gang expert because the courts are going to qualify them. The prosecutor is going to tear them apart, or the defense is going to tear them apart. So they have to have some level of extensive knowledge about gangs, gang activity.
Yeah, and I always like to fill this in when you look at the evidence rules, right? Because that's like the Bible as to what gets into evidence in a courtroom. An expert doesn't have to necessarily be a part of anything. They just have to have a specialized knowledge that's recognized by the court that gives them more knowledge than the average Ken, they call it, or average understanding of an individual. And it's up to the jury to make a decision as to whether or not that training and experience they have is worthy of belief or not worthy of belief. police. So you will see, it's a great question, because you will see attorneys cross-examine an expert to say, well, you were never in a gang, or you didn't do this, or you really don't have practical knowledge, you have book knowledge. So they get admitted as an expert.
The 8th of January, Kenneth Copeland is shooting. Sometimes a B, this one used an F. Shoot. It's on his right chest area, and it's a B, and it's colored red. Jeffrey doesn't run away from the fact that he knows people who are in gangs from all sorts of gangs. He promotes himself through these people. He talks with these people. Just like Jeffrey, you will find out, talks to heads of industries. He talks with everybody. He doesn't believe he's above anybody. It doesn't mean the fact that he talks with, or I talk with, or you talk with, or the prosecutor in YSL criminal street gang and did engage directly or indirectly.
By the way, chat, it's clear that Brian Steele is going to be the main lead attorney, and that's going to be really important.
Murder World is one of Jeffrey's artists that he signed. He developed, he encouraged, and who made it. This person had a supposed, maybe it's real, supposed $24 million pink diamond and had it surgically implanted into his forehead.
Yo, this trial is going to be a fucking mess.
There is a photograph next to YSL Rule the World Kid, 24M on an N's head. There's a photograph. If you click on it, it is the rapper with the surgically implanted pink diamond in his forehead. The police bury this. The prosecution buries this. I will show it to you. Now, the evidence will show, they may say, oh, we're sorry. We made a mistake. There's no mistakes here. This is a big deal. This is a bill of indictment in Fulton County, Georgia in 2023.
Your Honor, argument.
That is misrepresenting. You will learn. You will see it. It has nothing to do with put a contract on someone's life.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, man. Yo, I love this nigga, man. This nigga, like he be like dedicated, like, yeah, he got nothing to do with that.
That's the evidence that's coming at you. You'll start, bring me the money. Y'all, and stop playing with me.
Okay, and here we go. This is first time. State stopping the defense's opening statement helped or hurt them?
Well, I think it.
So people come in the typical car and drive the lyrics. Before Jeffrey, after Jeffrey. Because you're not going to get experts from different jurisdictions, from different types of teachings, from different learnings, from different thoughts. Your 5 gang experts in this case from the District Attorney's Office of Fulton County all work together in the City of Atlanta Police Department. Those are your 5 gang experts. They teach each other. They talk to each other. They decide what the rules are. None of them gave a report. It's just they know it because they are control years, because that's something called a statute of limitations. The Honorable Court will charge you on that. But that's the next count is count 62. Mr. Arnold, Mr. Kendrick, and Jeffrey were in possession of a machine gun, Glock 45 firearm with a converter switch, extended magazine, during the commission or attempted commission of participation in criminal street gang activity, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, possession of cocaine, as alleged in count 57, 58, 59, and 60. You will hear zero evidence that Jeffrey ever touched a gun with a converter. You will hear zero evidence. This is a knowledge. You have to know. We don't trick people. You have to know that the gun is transferred into an illegal machine gun. There's zero evidence that Jeffrey had anything to do with that gun. The purchase of it, the possession of it, even knew it was in the house. Knew that it was a machine gun. That's the count. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the indictment against Jeffrey Moon. That was everything. I saw Jeffrey Williams at the McDonald's on Cleveland Avenue. Saw him with
This is about to murder a nut.
all these other people. And then I followed him to his home at 8 o'clock at night. There are videos at the McDonald's. They don't have any video. They never bother to get any video. We even try. But we have phone records. And phone records can show that they're not GPS. This is not like you're within 5 feet of the cell.
All right. There
Forehead. There is a photograph next to YSL Rule the World Kid, 24M on an N's head. There's a photograph. If you click
This is them talking about Uzi.
it is the rapper with the surgically implanted pink diamond in his forehead. The police bury this. The prosecution buries this. I will show it to you. Now, the evidence will show, they may say, oh, it's on. We made mistakes. There's no mistakes here. This is a big deal. This is a bill of indictment in Fulton County, Georgia in 2023.
Your Honor, argument.
That is misrepresenting. You will learn. You will see it. It has nothing to do with put a contract on someone's life. That's the evidence that's coming at you. You'll start, bring me the money. Y'all, and stop playing with me. When you read, this is a long chat. These people are struggling. Trantavia Stevens is struggling. He's sharing a home with other people. They're trying to pay rent. They're working jobs. These are hard jobs to work. They're trying to save money, trying to eat, trying to take care of their kids.
We're talking about the Young Thug case, man. After all this time, do we feel like Thug is coming home after all the stuff that we seen, bro? That was only like what, day 1 or day 2? Do we really feel like Thug is coming home? Like, I sat there and I listened to like 2-3 hours of the trial, bro. The amount of cap I hear, like the amount of cap I hear in that trial is just absurd. Like, his lawyer was saying Thug stands for truly something like humble, outstanding, like just all this weird stuff. Like, oh, slime it came from Lil Wayne. I'm surprised they didn't say slime. Oh, he just like slime off Nickelodeon. Like, it's just so much cap, bro. Like, I don't even want to watch the trial. Like, it just sounds so crazy. Like, it just makes Young Thug look so stupid. And his lawyer called him a cap rapper, like like a studio rapper, like the ones who just go in the studio and gets the capping, bro. Like, I feel like this is bad for Thug. It's nothing good that comes from this situation. And he called wife and Lucci broke. He said wife and Lucci's beef with him because he's broke. Like, I don't see any. I don't think Thug's be in this case. We could, and they didn't give him any plea deals. They just want to take him down. And it's a lot of rats in the YSL case. But fuck all the other rats. Do we feel like Gunna's gonna take the stand, bro? Do we think Gunna is going to take the stand against King Slime? I know 100% Gunna can't take that stand. If Gunna takes that stand, his career is done. Completely done. Like, no support, anything. Gunna got the perfect way for Gunna to come back. He stand on business. He stand on business, you know. Even if you got to do what, a little 2-3 years and not take the stand and lose his plea agreement. But I mean, is it worth the 2-3 years? I don't think it is, bro. Like, I feel like jail was a good thing for Gunn, though. You feel me? He came out, what, 50 pounds lighter. Now he be in the gym all day, every day. He probably got off the drugs and all that stuff wherever else he was taking. Feel me? Which it's good, I guess. And man, it's just crazy how many rats they got in YSL, bro. And I know the days the YSL members take the stand and snitch on Thug, it's gonna go viral, and I will be right here to report on it because I'm gonna be sitting back laughing because you heard what he said. He don't fuck with rats. Thug actively knew it was rats at YSL, and he didn't do anything about it, and he didn't care because they was snitching on the ops. They don't care when they snitching on the ops, but when you snitch on the homies, it's wrong. That's why the streets is dumb. You basically you kill someone, you're throwing your life away. You do any like dumb ish in almost any state, but you're throwing your life away. Streets is a myth. The streets is dumb. You could be a real nigga and stay in jail for what 30, 40 years, throw your life away. Or you're a snitch, you're a rat, you tell and you get out and you live your life. Hey, it's a lose-lose situation. Y'all, I mean, some people like living in there, unless you want to be like Lil J. You just get used to it, you adapt to it, and you start, you feel me? Get it with men. Or you might be the man who just, you feel me? Yeah, Lil Nas X. But let me know what you guys feel about this whole situation, bro. Free Thug. Hopefully, I pray that everything goes well for him. But make sure you like, comment, subscribe, plug Akademiks, and I'm out.